Yes, Warhammer 40K boarding actions. Should we focus on these guys here? You know, my Necrons? Let's talk about it because hype. So we're gonna focus on deranged outcasts first. Here are our heroes of the show. These boys. So you can take a Hexmark Destroyer and a Scope F Lord, as you see there. There they are. And then you can include up to 2 of each of the following units. So Flayed Ones, Word I Can't Pronounce Destroyers, and then Scope F Destroyers. I only have 5 Flayed Ones. I have another 5, but I need to paint them up. So for now on screen, you just see these 5. And then here, you have the Scope F Destroyers. So kind of a light force, not too many minis, but pretty good because close combat, close conditions like in boarding actions, these can actually get in action and go instead of a game of 40k where it's try and get across the board or deep strike or whatever and they're dead. So there's that, and as well you can probably find these guys and even that lad on eBay for cheap because from the Indomitus box set there's probably still a bunch going around which makes it cheap, and then you got like the Hatchet paperback stuff with the reduced mini, so that's always cool. So of course for boarding actions, certain rules change. So as you can see there, they get rid of these abilities. So the army rule is transmissional reinforcements. Units from your army with the reanimation protocol ability loses that ability. Such units, if they are not character units, then gain this one. Once per battle in your command phase, this unit can request reinforcement. When it does, roll 1d6 for each destroyed model in this unit. For each 5+ return 1 destroyed model to this unit with its 4 wounds remaining. So that's kind of cool. And then if this unit is destroyed without having requested reinforcements after removing the last model from the battlefield, it immediately requests reinforcements as above. If 1 or more destroyed models are returned to this unit, set it back up on the battlefield wholly with one of your entry zones containing just the return models. If this is not possible, the unit remains destroyed. And a cheeky designer note, they love their notes. Rules that refer to reanimation protocols activating do not apply to the rule and have no effect. So yeah, and then you got your detachment rules. So terrifying charge. Each time a Necron unit from your army declares a charge, each enemy unit that is a target of the charge must take a leadership test. If failed until the end of the turn, each time a model in that enemy unit makes an attack, subtract 1 from the hit roll. Then you got the enhancements, so injured to damage. The bearer has feel no pain, 6+ ability. Once the bearer has destroyed 1 or more enemy units, it has the feel no pain of 5+. So for the likes of this lad and these lads, they should be able to destroy units because they're pretty nasty. So that's pretty good. And then we have Domineering Presence. In your opponent's command phase at the start of the battle shock step, select 1 enemy unit within 3 of the bearer. That enemy unit must take a battle shock test. When doing so, if that enemy unit is below half strength, subtract 1 from the test. This enhancement cannot cause a unit or 2 to take battle shock tests in the same phase, at least they explain. And then we have this one. So we have all these things for command points, bathed in blood. So when fight phase, just after an enemy unit is destroyed by a destroyer cult unit from your army, target destroyer cult unit effect. Select 1 objective marker that your unit or the destroyed unit was within range of at the start of the phase. That objective marker is secured by your army, so that's kind of handy, especially if there's let's say an objective here. Let's say this is an objective and then your lad's over here, but somehow they get into combat because there's 5 and 5, but you're not in range, but then you destroy that unit, you then own it, and then you can just carry on across the board and secure more objectives and kill stuff. Apologies for that poor display of explanation, but then again, if you're still watching this video, you're used to that by now. Then we've got all these other cool things. Shadow Stalkers. Your movement phase at the start of your reinforcement step, target 1 flayed 1 unit from your army that is in reserve effect until the end of the phase. Models in your unit have a deep strike ability and you can only use this stratagem once, so makes sense. Keep them in reserve, then go boof later on. You could wait a bit, flayed 1, save them in reserve and use them when you really need them or you think they're going to turn the tide of the game. So we got Rush to the Slaughter. I don't know why I said it like that. Rush to the Slaughter. When your movement phase, target one Necron unit from your army that has not been selected to move this phase effect. Until the end of the phase, if your unit has the Flayed Ones keyword, each time it moves, models in that unit can move through friendly Destroy Occult models as if they were not there. If your unit has the Destroy Occult keyword models in it, it can move through friendly Flayed One models as if they were not there. That's pretty handy, especially when it's like tight corridors, you're in a rush and you're in a tangle. So that's really useful. Terrifying Ambush. When your movement phase just after a Destroy Occult unit from your army opens a hatchway, target the Destroy Occult unit effect. For each enemy unit within 3 of that hatchway, if the hatchway is visible to that unit and that unit is wholly on the opposite side of it from your unit, the unit must take a leadership test. Subtracting 2 from the result if failed the unit. Until the end of the phase, the enemy unit cannot fire Overwatch. That's pretty handy because sometimes you'll have people in the doorway just waiting and trying to go pew pew pew, so that's pretty cool. So I quite like this one. This is a good one. Low model count, let's say I had 10 of these, as I would, you'd want to max it out. That's 10, 13, 14, literally 15 models to play this and play a game of boarding action, which once again reaffirms the whole point of boarding action being like you don't need loads of stuff to play boarding action. So that's super fun. We're going to have a look at some other Necron things, but not as in depth because I like these guys. I like this one a lot. So I will let you have a quick look here. I just really wanted to go over my favorite Necron one, and it was the one I showed previously because, well, yeah, I want you guys to support this in a way. It sounds daft. I know there's like loads of review copies online, but for once, if people like check it out, share, and even purchase this stuff, it shows Games Workshop that there's an interest for boarding action, which means it gets continued support, hopefully, and continued support means we get to play this cooler, smaller skirmish game mode, which is good for us, good for you, good for me, good for Games Workshop because money. But yeah, this is a fun one as well. So I would probably take like, it's more what I have. So I have a Psychomancer, a Phasmancer, and a Chromomancer. I think I do. I can't remember. Necron Warriors, I have a bunch of those. I don't actually have any of those guys. Well, I have a Scarab Swarm, to be fair. But, what? Yeah. And then you got all your cool stuff. And then your abilities. There you go. And then the army rule. There's that with my reflection of the light. So apologies, you can screenshot it, read it like that. And then you got a tomb ship, complement. So you can include up to one of the following. I'm trying to think. I've got an Overlord, I've got a Royal Warden, I got a Hexmark Destroyer. Then you got some of the cool ones like Trazan the Infinite, Emotech the Stormlord. And then you can include up to one of the following units. So then it's kind of like a lower hierarchy. And then you got that. So that could be kind of fun. You've got a lot to actually choose from this list. So one of the following. You can include one of those, up to 3 of those. Wow, you can include up to 3 of each of the following units. Include up to one of the following units. You could literally just take a bunch of Necron Warriors and fill the hallways with a bunch of corpses and bodies and be like, rah, 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 rah. But yeah, this, as I was saying, out of the 3 Necron detachments in boarding action, I like the Deranged Outcast because look at that artwork for one. You could really go back, instead of a nice theme, because I'm just using these for my actual main 40k army, you could do like a kind of awful horror theme one, like, I don't know, Aliens, Dead Space vibes, all just gone tits up in space because, you know, what's that other, Horizon. I forgot the name of that film. I think I watched it years ago as a kid, and then I was like, oh my god, the guy from Jurassic Park face has gone, Event Horizon, that's the one. That'd be cool. That'd be cool to do a theme on that. But yeah, so for me, I really like the Deranged Outcasts of Necrons. Thank you for watching. If you want to see more kind of focused content on boarding actions, let me know. Support, share, like, comment, subscribe, all that jazz. Thank you to the people on screen. I won't really do deep dives because I'm not one of those channels, like I'm not all specs and all the guys who sit and do the review copies. I'm just a pleb with a phone camera sometimes. But I would happily be like, pick my favorite, because already with the new Vespids for Tau, I'm kind of already eyeing up a future boarding action force. I said, it's the great thing of boarding action. Like I said, it's just endless possibilities. So that's always fun. Like this one, for example, I would do Dark Strider. I would do the Infernal, the blue dude with the stick. And then you got your cool Pathfinders. I would do some Crew, and then I'd do the new Vespids. Like, and then you got battle suits. I've never really painted battle suits, but that'd be cool. Look at that, a sneak peek into what I would do for the blue space guys. But yeah, boarding action, good fun. All the best. Bye-bye.